Everybody, welcome to Jacob's Quest, and today this is a spoiler-filled review for Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 8, the season finale. Unfortunately, I'm actually running really late, so this is going to have to be as quick as possible. So obviously, if you haven't watched the episode, go away, go watch it. Holy shit. The funny thing is, I want to start off with, I posted like this little image online where I'm like, hey, basically I was just like, hey, don't get your expectations way too high, don't get all disappointed if this or that doesn't happen. And then of course, The Mandalorian being the show that it is, that exact thing ended up happening, but we'll get to that. First I want to start off with they captured Dr. Pershing. They confirmed that he is a cloning engineer. They didn't go further than that, but we know Yoda blood, or baby Yoda blood, cloning. We still don't know the answers to that as to what's happening, but that's there. They have this great action sequence. They get Bo-Katan and her crew to come back, or at least Bo-Katan and the girl. The guy was not there. I don't know what he was off doing. I don't know what could have been more important, but in any case, they're going after Moff Gideon. They find his cruiser, and she's trying to get the Darksaber. They're gonna have like this big, great action scene of everyone else basically distracting them there. In fact, just getting on the ship was an awesome scene. My only thing is like the entire crew goes on the ship except for Boba. Boba leaves. Like he literally, like he's pretending to chase them. That way they'll let them on the ship, right? And then Boba just dips out. He's gone. and I don't think we see Boba for the rest of the episode, which was kind of funny, but I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming we'll see him in season 3 then, because he didn't die or anything. He just left after that, which I guess was the plan. Anyways, they have a bunch of great action sequences. The whole crew is like distracting everyone else on board while Din tries to go rescue the child. He has to fight off one dark trooper by himself, and it was essentially the Terminator, right? This thing was unstoppable. It definitely feels like it was made out of Beskar because the blaster bolts were just bouncing right off of it. So it was basically the Terminator. And of course, Moff Gideon is in that room, and at first he's like, oh, go ahead and take the child. I just want the Darksaber. I already got what I wanted from the kid. I don't care anymore. Go ahead. But of course, you can't trust that Moff Gideon. And he attacks him, and they have like a pretty good action sequence, and then Din beats him, and he picks up the Darksaber, and he takes him to the bridge, and he's like, all right, here, take the Darksaber, Bo-Katan. But Moff Gideon, he pulls like this real sneaky move now, because now that he's alive, he can basically explain the situation where it's like, hey, he beat me in combat, which means Din Djarin is the rightful owner of the Darksaber, and Bo-Katan, if she's just handed the Darksaber, then there's not much of a story to it, which is kind of funny because isn't that what happened in Rebels? Wasn't she just handed the Darksaber by Sabine Wren? But anyway, I guess it doesn't matter. There is a bit of a standoff where it feels like, oh, they're legit about to have to fight or something, which some people kind of predicted that Bo-Katan was going to have her, she's so fixated on the Darksaber that maybe she was going to have to turn on the rest of the group for a minute because she really wants that Darksaber. And it seemed like that's where it was going. But earlier, Din had like ejected the Dark Troopers out of the bay. They're gone, whatever you call it. And now they're coming back, obviously, because I was like, oh, the rest of those guys were defeated pretty easily. But then I was like, no, but they're droids, they don't need to breathe, so they could just come right back to the ship. And of course they do. And it seems like they're in a tricky situation because now they are like in the front of the ship, and all the Dark Troopers are like right at the door, and you're like, what the hell is gonna happen? And they say, hey, something's coming in, and I thought it was Boba coming back because I was like, yeah, Boba had left, he's gonna come back, right? Like, why would he not? But no, it's an X-Wing. And at first I was like, okay, so it's gonna be maybe some of those those X-Wing pilots that we had seen earlier, right? And then I saw that it was a hooded figure, and I was like, okay, maybe it's Ahsoka. But then I was like, wait, no, they came in an X-Wing. And I was like, no, there's no way they did it. There's no way. And then you see that green lightsaber, and I just started cursing up a storm when it was happening, because they showed this long sequence of Luke Skywalker destroying all of the Dark Troopers by himself, and I was literally just like, oh fuck, shit, oh shit. And I was like, those madmen did it. and that's just the kind of the funny thing of me posting that image where I'm like, oh, don't get your hopes up, because I don't want people to get like crazy disappointed if this thing doesn't happen. And then of course it goddamn happens. Wow. Here's my thing, is that somehow this show keeps surprising me. They introduced Ahsoka live action, and when that happened, I was like, oh, okay, nothing is off limits. But I still, like, internally had doubts that Luke Skywalker would happen. But now that Luke Skywalker has happened, okay, that's it then. There's no limitations on this show. Anything can happen in this show. That's beautiful. It's always felt like, you watch the movies, comic book characters or book characters are kind of off limits because the mainstream won't know who those characters are. Or, so-and-so actor is kind of old now, so they can't really show up and they'd have to recast. It's like, it doesn't matter. Luke Skywalker's here. Ahsoka's here. They were in the same season of the same TV show. Nothing is off limits. It's insane. Wow. I can't believe they did it. And I was so sure that there was inevitably going to be some kind of backlash of people who didn't like this episode. And I'm sure there still are, but it's not going to be anywhere near what I thought. And I mean, I guess that just goes to the writing of this show, because god damn it, they know what people want, and they have predicted everything accurately as to like, oh, the fans are going to want this to happen next. And then it fucking happens. Wow. That's just amazing. Now, there's still some questions left at the end of this episode. Din Djarin, I believe, is still the rightful owner of that Darksaber, and that plot thread did not get finished. The episode ends with Luke walking away with Grogu. So the first thing is, what's the show going to be about now? I mean, there's still plenty it could be about, but it's definitely not going to be the Baby Yoda show anymore, which it seems like that's what's going to end up happening. In fact, this feels like it opens the door for a Luke Skywalker show, which would be amazing, and they could announce it today, and that would be great, because there's no reason why they can't now. Also, was that Sebastian Stan, or was that just like a CG rendering kind of thing? I honestly can't tell. I didn't stay for the credits. I didn't look at the credits because I was too excited, and I immediately wanted to get recording this right after I watched it. So I don't know if that was Sebastian Stan, or if that was like a CG rendered thing, or if Mark Hamill lent his voice anywhere. I don't know. I'm sure there's gonna be like a million articles, or someone in the comments gonna say, oh, this is how they did the Luke Skywalker part. All I know is that it looked like Luke Skywalker, and it sounded like Luke Skywalker, and it was cool, and that's all I need to know. God damn. So it seems like I would hope that we get a Luke Skywalker show. I don't know what season 3 of The Mandalorian is going to be about. I suppose it can be about the Darksaber, and Moff Gideon is still alive. The Darksaber is rightfully Din Djarin's, and I feel like Bo-Katan is not going to just sit there and be happy with that. So there's that. Also, they said that they got what they needed from Baby Yoda, and it definitely feels like, okay, so that's still an open plot thread. What's with the cloning? Is it Snoke? Is it First Order related? Because again, they use the phrase like, "Oh, this baby's blood can bring order back to the universe," or something like that. That's what Moff Gideon said, and I was like, "Okay, First Order back to the okay." Maybe that's what they're trying to say here. Man, there's still a lot of stuff that we don't have answered. We're assuming that Luke Skywalker sensed him on the Seeing Stone. That must have been what happened. And by the way, I believe it's too early for Ben Solo to be trained right now. Ben Solo would only be, what, 4 years old? 5 years old? So, he's not being trained yet. He doesn't get trained till he's like 10 or something like that. So, is Grogu Luke Skywalker's first apprentice? Is that where this is going? And then it's definitely like, there's probably gonna be all kinds of memes about it, but like, what happens to Grogu? Is he in that temple when everyone dies? Does Ben Solo end up killing Grogu? How does this work? We got questions, and I'm sure there's gonna be a show that answers them. Wow, what a way to end the season. there's still a lot of things that they have to address. I think the Darksaber and taking back Mandalore, and I think Moff Gideon is also going to play a big part in this, and what they were doing with the cloning. There's still a lot going on here. I feel like Din Djarin is more than willing to give up the Darksaber, but Bo-Katan wants to fight him for it, because that's just the way it has to work, I guess. Which, it's gonna be interesting, because I feel like even then Din Djarin would be like, all right, fine, we'll fight for it, just, you know, don't kill me, and we'll fight for it. I'll probably just let you win. Like, what, I don't, you know, I'm trying to hand it to you, literally, I'm trying to hand it to you. So just take it. You know, whatever, you want to fight, well, fine, we'll fight. You can tell people that you beat me, maybe you'll just beat me anyways, I don't care. You know, it feels like that plot thread could be ended pretty quickly, although I feel like for the sake of drama it's not going to be. I feel like for one reason or another Din Djarin's going to want to hang on to the saber. Also, I will say it was sad seeing them say goodbye. He showed his face to Baby Yoda, but I very highly doubt that this is the last time they'll see each other. You know, of course they said we'll see each other again, but I'm sure like by season 4 or 5 or something, they will see each other again somehow. Yeah, this was crazy. This was amazing. Let me know your favorite part. I can't believe it happened. Wow. Okay, I probably forgot to talk about some stuff, but wow. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.